Back to my mental health and crime channel. My name is Huda London. I'm a licensed cognitive behavior therapist, that's a CBT therapist, and a licensed mental health counselor. I'd like to start by thanking all my subscribers, my viewers, for all your mindfulness, respectful, interesting, thoughtful comments, feedback. I consider my subscribers to be like friends and family to me. They're really kind and intelligent and positive. Today I'd like to give out 2 shoutouts to 2 YouTube creators who do an excellent job in the Idaho Moscow case, and they both have given me a shout out. I really respect that. I'd like to start by giving my love and respect to Mr. Pete from Murder, Metal, Mayhem. I've always been watching his channel since the Idaho Moscow case began. I love the way he gives out his presentation. I love the way he talks to his subscribers, viewers. He's very kind, decent, respectful, mindful. He's an intelligent man. Thank you, Pete, for mentioning me over 6 times, I guess. You are really awesome for being not only kind, but honest. I believe everyone deserves the credit when they do hard work, and fair use purpose on YouTube is there for a reason. Whenever I use the Banfield JLR's version, I always thank him. I always thank J is for Justice for bringing us the whole Grub Truck video. There are many other YouTube creators that do a wonderful job, but I'd like to start with Pete. I've always watched his channel, and he has made a lot of good videos from the beginning of this case. He's one of the YouTube creators who's been in this case from the beginning, just like me, Bubbly Waters, Lana, Jules of all trades, and few other creators. I'd like to thank Pete because he gave me and Bubbly Waters a lot of shout-outs. Bubbly Waters is a good YouTube creator, and it's true, we both have found a lot in the Grub Truck and Banfield. Please like, share, and subscribe to Metal Mayhem. If you love my contents, you love this man, his contents too. I respect him because of mindfulness, which is a beautiful word. If you're not mindful, if we don't show respect to each other, if we don't appreciate each other, then we won't get far. We all are here for one purpose, to find out the truth and get the correct justice. So Peter's done some hard work, and he's still doing so hard work. Please like, share, and subscribe to his channel. Thank you, Pete. I really appreciate you, and I love your work. Continue with the lovely work you do. You're well respected on YouTube. You always give credit and respect to all your subscribers, viewers, and other YouTube creators. Thank you. My second shout out is to Nika Nuri's Nuggets. I hope I pronounced that right. She's another favorite YouTube creator I watch. I love her because she's like me. Kind of. She says whatever she has to for the sake of making us understand the case properly from her perspective. She has given us a lot of nuggets in this case, a lot of ideas, a lot of thoughts. Thank you, Nika, for being kind to mention me, and thank you for all the hard work you do. YouTube creators are just people like everyone else. But it's important that we work as a team because we all want to achieve the same goal, getting the correct justice. I've noticed some people on YouTube, some creators, believe that Koberger is guilty. They would rather that he gets the D penalty, in my opinion. There's some creators that believe BK is totally innocent, and there's some creators that are in between, like me. I've always said from the beginning that I believe that the frats are involved. They were the ones who were seen the whole night from the Banfield grub truck, corner club, everywhere. It was surprising that the police said that it was a quiet night to the Banfield boys. I am one creator, YouTube creator, who believes that Koberger could be guilty or he could be actually very innocent. From the beginning, I've been researching this case from the first day it came out and nothing made sense. But it's actually it's starting to make sense for me totally. There was a lot of bullying going on in the college. The reason that I say that is 4 students, the quadruples, Hannah Clay, who allegedly unalived herself to a non-prescription overdose, Hudson Lindo, who was found in the frozen creek, and Tim, who we found out was beaten by 50 vandals, boys or young men that came on the news. So I'm talking about 6 victims who all were unalived for whatever reason within 6 months period. We have Hudson Lindo first. When Hudson was unalived, was found in the frozen creek, Paradise Creek, near the Sigma Chi. What was so strange was after Sigma Chi fraternity party. Wow. Then we have Ethan and Sena, who are allegedly in a Sigma Chi fraternity party, too. Hannah Clear, we don't know much about, but from the beginning it was said that Hannah Clear's brothers were at the grub truck, and I believe that. I've showed you. I want to go to this picture and this incident. We all are entitled to our opinions. It doesn't necessarily mean that my opinion is right. But if you read down, it says, JSC, if you're gay, Jaden. I've spoken about this a couple of times. They're referring to Jaden Smith, Will Smith's son. Why would they say that? Are they implying something about DM and her gender, allegedly? Because this is from Maddie Morgan, is TikTok. This happened on Halloween. Now, if you pay attention properly, DM doesn't look like she's in a comfortable position. You have Maddie sitting on her lap, possibly pouring a drink in her mouth. You have Sena with the phone device there. I don't know if she's recording. May they rest in peace. But my question is, was there bullying going on in 1122 Kings Road? Sena put this up in her TikTok. I don't think this is an act. I think DM was put in a very horrible situation. The reason I bring this up is this happened 13 days before the quadruples. If you look at DM's left eye, you can see tears rolling. It's heartbreaking. I don't think anyone would fake tears like that. So what was actually going on here? Was DM being bullied? Could that be the reason she didn't call 911? Or was she threatened not to call 911? Maddie put this up on her TikTok. Over 4,600 people saw it. Many of them liked it. And in each of the pictures it was written, JS, if you are gay. This is no discrimination from my side, but this is what was written. I'm trying to study and analyze things that were going on before the quadruples. And this makes the most sense to me because this was 2 weeks before the quadruples happened. Pay attention to DM. She's gagged up. She's tied up with the orange belt, suit, whatever it is, vest. I've seen this picture a dozen of times. Until I recently looked deep into it and noticed that she was tied up. The lipstick is smudging over her face. I really feel sorry if she was put in a situation where she was bullied. And may the 4 victims rest in peace. Why is she tied up? I don't think she would go and literally tie herself up. Who tied her up? Did they record it? Because they took pictures and Maddie posted on her TikTok. Imagine how humiliated DM must have felt when this was put up on her TikTok. wonder if revenge could have been a motive in the unalivings. I'm not saying DM did it. This is from Maddie's TikTok. Pay attention to how many people saw DM in this state, shared it, liked it, disliked it, whatever. It's really sad. What was the relationship between these 5 girls and Ethan? Is a question that needs to be asked. I've always wondered if this was an inside job, if somebody purposely left the front end sliding door open, because it was said in the press conference that there was no forced entry. Chief Fry said that. So if there's no forced entry, somebody must have let them in, or somebody forgot to lock the door. Which one is it? Why would it take 8 hours to call 911? Why did Kaylee move out? Why was she studying from home? Why did Sena ask her father to help her to fix her locks? Why was DM being bullied? Allegedly, 13 days before the unalivings. I believe this was the black truck that we saw passing Banfield. The reason it's important for me from the very beginning of this case is because the tripod from Illinois, Chicago recorded a black truck in front of the house, and we saw the lights of the truck before it passed Banfield. It passed Banfield at exactly 3 o'clock. The tripod said that they saw a female yelling hysterically and running from the back door to the front of the house, and a black truck was parked outside. Could DM and her boyfriend Quincy Kelly, he was seen that night in the house allegedly, could they have drove off with the truck? Was Bethany Funk with them? We saw the Banfield boys. I personally believe that they came from the house. One of them had one glove. DM brought Kaylee along as a +1. So there had to be a party going on the 11th or 12th. Kaylee came to show off her SUV. That is exactly what Steve said. Could Kaylee have been trapped to come? Allegedly. Maybe DM invited Kaylee over as a +1 because Kaylee wasn't part of the people allegedly who were bullying her. Or was this a setup? What was actually going on in the house? Why were people being bullied? I'd like to talk a bit about Bethany Funk. Exculpatory evidence is what BK said she has, an Taylor. Why didn't they call 911? Why wouldn't someone call 911 when 4 people are unalived? Didn't the smell bother them? Did they feel safe with the suspects or suspect. Others, you would have called 911. This doesn't make sense. They were texting each other. They were on Instagram. DM was creating contacts. They were on Indeed app. And guess what? They were on Yik Yak app. That's a bullying app. It was banned in 2017. It was terminated for a while because of the bullying. College students use that a lot. This was posted 13 days before the unalivings on Maddie Morgan's TikTok. Use this if you're GAY Jaden. Was this about bullying? What do you all think? We have Hannah Clear, who was unalived or died over an overdose. A non-prescription drug. In the beginning of this case, people in the college were saying that the victims were mean girls. I used to avoid talking about that, but it's important. After I saw DM, his pictures tied up in Maddie's TikTok 2 weeks before the unalivings, the question has dawned to me plenty of times. Was there something else going on in the house? Hannah Clee may they all rest in peace, was young. She lost her life. People in the college were saying that she is being bullied, that she is bullied of either Maddie or Kaylee. May they rest in peace. Or it could have been Sena, but it was said Maddie or Kaylee. One of them lived in the same dormitory with her when she sadly passed away. That was a couple of months before the quadruples. So is this a pattern of bullying, I wonder? Could this have made Maddie the target? We've heard plenty of times from the mainstream news that Maddie was the main target. Are they just trying to blame BK for it? But could Maddie have been the target because of this alleged bullying with DM 13 days before the unalivings? With Hannah Clear? Because her brothers were allegedly at the glove truck, and it was said they were driving a white Hyundai Elantra. I saw a white Hyundai Elantra pass by the glove truck, and then one of these men came to the glove truck right after the white car passed. One of them looks exactly like Hannah Clear. It was said that Hannah Clear's brother and best friend were there to take revenge. That's the reason I wonder if this was revenge for bullying. I still believe this is Hannah Clear's brother, Scott, at the grub truck. You can see they look alike. Hannah Clear's birthday, may she rest in peace, was on the 15th of November. 1 day, 2 days after the quadruples. Something to think about. This is Hannah Clear's brother at the cashier with the black jacket, and the one with the brown jacket is his friend. He came out of the white car. Pay attention to how he's talking to the Sigma Chi boys. It's just like Joe Vito said he doesn't know the Sigma Chi boys, but yet again he was chatting with all of them. Number 9, number 8, Hayden, literally all of them. I'm entitled to my opinion, and I don't believe any of them. They all should be investigated, and especially their devices should be taken from them. Those are all evidence. What they're watching, what they're doing, they're yelling out Xana's name, let's go, Ethan. Things that are saying is unacceptable. These people were watching a live crime, even Saeed on the battlefield. They both were looking at Maddie and Kaylee and standing behind them for a good while. Look at how the people are looking at them. I'm going to end soon by explaining why I personally believe 911 wasn't called. There was something going on inside the house. I'm sure the girls were really intoxicated. The surviving roommates may be threatened not to call for help, but I personally believe it's because somebody was dealing with drugs inside this house. We saw Emma Bailey. I don't know about Demetrius. We've heard rumors that he was there, but we've seen Emma in one of the noise complaints. The police are even talking to her. We know that Demetrius and Emma have been involved with the OD case of a young 19-year-old boy who was OD'd with fentanyl. May he rest in peace. They were let go. I don't understand how. I think the case was in Ohio, but they were let go. Now this is where I believe these two could have been involved. They could have been involved with Bethany Funk. Exculpatory evidence. I personally believe that Bethany Funk was dealing with drugs. I know it's a big accusation, but I'm not accusing her of anything, unless that's a fake Venmo, which I doubt. I will show you all exactly what I mean. I've spoken about it before, but this will make sense to you. For someone not to have called 911 for 8 to 9 hours, we know that this was a party house, a petty party venue, furthermore. We've heard Uber drivers saying that they used to drive people there to get rugs. Area where the 4 University of Idaho students were unalived was known to be a party spot. Taxi driver says that's where people go to get rugs. He said that to Idaho local news. So remember that. It was a party venue, a party spot. It was where people used to go to get rugs. Now this was or still is Bethany Funk is Venmo's. Her Venmo account. You can see that. This was 1 year and 3 months before the unalivings. Riley Hilden paid BF. You can see it's public. Look at what's written here. CRACKCOCAINE behind the Rayleigh's dumpster. Interesting. Wonder if the Rayleigh's dumpster is where the young guy was going to meet the person with the white car. Riley Hilden is telling Bethany Funk to put this under the Riley's dumpster. It could all be a joke, but I don't think so. Why would somebody pay someone Venmos for fun? This is another Venmo of Bethany Funk. Now we're in 2022, 27th April. This is 6 months before the unalivings. I don't want to even read it. It's from M for mother, B for Bravo, MB. This is from 2021. Claire Cirillo paid Bethany Funk, April 29, 2022. Sorry. 6 months before the unalivings. Big PN. These are all codes for, I think, what they're buying. What kind of rugs they're buying. In my opinion. Just my opinion. I wonder if this is the Riley's dumpster that Riley Hilden was selling Bethany Funk to put the rugs under. It's not far from the house. It makes sense. Or it could be another dumpster. What if BK was buying rugs from Bethany Funk? Just a question. What if he was around the area the 28 times to buy rugs? Let's not forget. He was allegedly recovering from heroin. One of the most strongest rugs. I don't think he just did a cold turkey and stopped what he was doing. You can imagine all the heat, all the anger, all the stress, anxiety, depression he could have got from being a teacher assistant. And he was allegedly going to lose his job. He was warned twice. If that is true, usually people go from one to another rug. Quite common. I know that as a therapist. What if BK was actually there to get his rugs? Maybe they called him to frame him. Just saying. Or Bethany Funk could have said, I have a problem since I have rugs at home. I'm scared that somebody's going to come and attack me. Can you lend me your knife and your knife sheet? That is possible too. In my opinion. Bethany's Venmos was quite busy in 2021 and 2022. These are all codes they're giving each other. I'm sorry that the picture is blurry, but you can clearly see Emma Bailey at the police stop in front of 1122 Kings Road. What was she doing there? We know she was involved in a OD case. So was she providing DM? Is that the reason DM didn't call 911? Was BK buying from them? Because this was the party house. People came to buy rugs from this house. The cab driver could have been lying, or he could be telling the truth. Why would he just say that? So everyone in Idaho, Moscow knows that this was a party house. Rugs were being sold. We know as adults, anything that involves rugs, money, can get you seriously hurt or unalived, unfortunately. Did they take 8 hours to call the police because they had to sober up from whatever they were using, whether it was alcohol or rugs? Did they take 8 hours because they had to get the rugs out of the house? Because let's not forget, BF could have been dealing in the house, allegedly. That's what her Venmo say, not me. Did they have to do a cleanup before they called the cops, is my question. Why was the timelines changed? Did they give the police the wrong timelines? Could they have ordered the DoorDash on Maddie's card? Very possible. Sorry, on Xana's card. Did they have Xana's TikTok on so that they could get an alibi? Let's not forget, they all need an alibi. That's why they're hanging around the grub truck and Banfield. The Banfield boys actually were just caught. Unfortunately for them, because one of them is carrying a glove and Saeed is watching those pictures. So, is that the exculpatory evidence BF has? Was she selling rugs, like her Venmo said? Allegedly. Could she have been selling to BK? Could she have borrowed his knife and knife sheet? And did they take 8 hours to get the rugs out of the house before they called the police? There was no forced entry, remember that. People used to go down to 1122 Kings Road to get rugs, allegedly, according to the taxi driver who told the local news. This was in the beginning. And now that I found Bethany Funk is Venmo's that shows she was dealing rugs, then there's a big chance, a big possibility that she had to clean up the house before calling the police. Could she have borrowed BF's knife? Sorry, could BK have lent his knife to BF because she was scared? Did they decide to frame him? Or was he involved? Is all my questions. So, the prosecutor, William Thompson, was always in the case from the very beginning. Chief Fry was there. Scott, the president, was there. I wonder if the man in the suit near Chief Fry is the FBI, because the FBI usually wears suits, or is he from the school? We never saw the FBI present, but he could be.
For videos or anything from the community to help put together that timeline, we obtained a copy of Twitch video, and family members of the Gonsalves family were able to identify Maddie and Kaylee in those videos at a food truck ordering food. Is the police department, our investigators, aware of that video, and has it helped put together that timeline?
We are aware of that video, and it has helped. It gives us a time and space where we know that two of our victims were, and that helps us a ton, and we'll continue to follow up all leads that we can and continue to gather those.
Party at the home that night?
This will be the last one, okay? I understand. Not that we know of, not at the home. We know that the other, let me get the names exactly right here. We know that Sena and Ethan were at a different party on campus. But that timeline will still help us if other people know about that.
Thank you.
Out there still, possibly. We don't know. We don't believe it's going to be to anybody else. But we all have to be aware of our surroundings and make sure that we're watching out for each other.
Okay, and then one other follow-up. I know you said when the call came in, it was for an unconscious person, and also that was a stabbing. It seems, just from an outside perspective looking in, like that would be not the first thing a person calling in would think.
You're right. But the report that we got was that it was an unconscious individual. It wasn't until our officers arrived on scene, went in to do caregiving check on the individual who was unconscious, that we found the scene that we found.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, Heather Roberts with ABC News. Just to follow up on what she asked, so the other two roommates were there at the time of the attack?
All the information that we have from our investigation is that yes, they were.
Okay, but they were unhurt.
That is correct.
So is there any explanation as to why it took so long then for someone to call 911? You have surviving witnesses to an incident at 3 or 4 in the morning, and the 911 call didn't come until noon?
I don't think I ever said that they were witnesses. I said they were there. So, you know, we don't know why that call came in at noon and not in the middle of the night.
I hope you all heard that clearly. Chief Fry told the ABC reporter, he corrected her by saying the surviving roommates were not witnesses. He said, I said they were just there. What were they doing just there? Why did they decide to take 8 hours to call 911? Wasn't there emergency? They called 911 and they said one of our roommates is unconscious. She was intoxicated last night and she's not waking up. That means obviously they went and they saw Sena. Why were they pretending like Hunter went and saw Sena and he told them, get out, get out, get out? I'm not buying this. I'm not buying what they're selling at all. Active listening is really important. And from the beginning, this case has never made sense because I never believed that the surviving roommates were witnesses. Just like Chief Fry said, I believe you, Chief Fry. They were just there. But what were they doing? The Venmos are showing us what Bethany Funk, exculpatory evidence, was doing. Was she moving stuff around inside the house or taking it outside, maybe in the black truck? Who knows? I don't think those Venmos were faked at all. I found them the more I researched from the beginning of this case. Please let me know what y'all think about this theory. This was a party house. They could have been selling rugs. Bethany Funk's Venmos exposes it. BK was recovering. Addict. I hate to say that, but that's the truth. Allegedly, he was doing 5 years of his life in serious rugs, and if that is true, he could have moved to something milder, or they could have been selling anything. You can see they're giving each other code language, but they use the word COKE. What were they selling in the house? That's the only thing that would make sense. 2 a.m. was when everything was going down. The unalived Sena and Ethan at 2 a.m. That's why the police never knew the correct timeline for Sena and Ethan. The coroner said that the time of death or unaliving was at 2 a.m. Isn't that strange? They could access the inside of the house from the front door because they all had the code, and the back door because it was left open. There was no forced entry. Why was the front door left open? The tripod said a female was running hysterically out from the back door to the front door, to the front of the house. Was it Bethany Funk maybe cleaning up? Allegedly. I'm just asking because she has exculpatory evidence. The surviving roommates were texting, using Instagram, Yikiak, Indeed app. Quinn Kelly was allegedly there. he and DM took pictures. I put it up on VSOP and then deleted it or put it on private. Let me know what y'all think about this theory. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I give a shout out once again to Murder, Metal, Mayhem. Please like, share, and subscribe to his channel. Especially go back to his channel from the beginning. He has a lot of interesting stuff. And go to Nika Nuggets because she does excellent work too. May you all have a blessed Sunday. May the 4 victims get the correct justice. May the truth set them all free. Have a lovely evening.